In this video I'm going to give you 10 ways you can reduce your plastic waste, and it doesn't matter if you're a beginner to all this, you've not really thought about it before. These are 10 simple ways you can reduce your plastic waste. If you think about it, single-use plastic waste is absolutely stupid. Unfortunately, we've been brainwashed into using it for decades. Here's a little fact you may never have considered. Every single piece of plastic that's ever been produced still exists. So for example, those yogurt cartons that were produced back in the early 60s when I was a nipper, they still exist. They're somewhere in the world, because once you make plastic, it's with us forever. It doesn't biodegrade. It may break down, but it becomes microplastics. It doesn't biodegrade into the environment, and those microplastics are absolutely poisonous. And although they become invisible to us, they come into the food chain. They go into the rivers, into the oceans. Fish eat them, they go into the environment, other animals eat them. And the millions of tons of plastic waste that humans produce, less than 46% is actually sent for recycling, and less than 10% of that is recycled here in the UK. We have been shipping our plastic recycling out to other countries in containers, using fossil fuels to ship those things across the sea. And there was a moment, a window, when China, that massive country, decided to get into recycling. They wanted all the used plastic they could get. China now has more than enough of its own plastic and has pulled out of the recycling market, more or less. There is no way that we can recycle our way out of the current problem. What we have to do is stop producing the plastic in the first place. But while you and I keep buying it, the plastic companies are going to keep producing it, and the supermarkets are going to keep using the plastic. But if we all stop buying things that are wrapped in needless single-use plastic, the companies will change if enough of us do it. So let me tell you 10 ways that I've significantly reduced my plastic waste. When I started thinking about this, the obvious bit of single-use plastic I was using every day was milk cartons. But when I was a kid back in the 60s, milk was delivered to the door in glass bottles. Not only was there no plastic used in the packaging of milk, but it even came on an electric vehicle. Why did we ever get rid of that? I found a company online called Milk and More, and they do the old thing. They deliver milk in glass bottles that you return to them. They want the glass bottle back because they're going to sterilise it and reuse it. Not only that, but we use oat milk, which we were getting in Tetra Pak cartons, which are not always recyclable in some places, and they do have that bit of plastic on the lid which isn't recyclable. But Milk and More do oat milk in glass, and obviously they do all the other dairy stuff, the regular milk, full milk, semi-skimmed and fully skimmed, whatever you want. It's all there in glass bottles, and they'll bring it to your house. Does it cost a bit more? It probably does cost a little bit more, but I'm willing to pay that to get rid of my plastic use. So the second thing I looked at was toothpaste. So hopefully we're all cleaning our teeth morning and evening, keeping our dentist happy, but the stuff comes in this unrecyclable plastic tube. So I found a completely different solution. There's alternatives. So you can get toothpaste in a glass jar. A brand I tried was Toothpaste. I didn't really get on with the taste of that, so I didn't stop there. I looked for something else, and I settled on brush mints. So the ones I used are by a company called Smyle, and basically it's just like a little glass bottle or a paper packet for a refill of little mints that you just put in your mouth and crush like you would if you were eating an ordinary mint. But before you swallow the mint, you stick your toothbrush in and clean your teeth, and everything that you need to clean your teeth is in the mint, and then you just clean your teeth like normal. I have to say, using the brush mints is a little bit different to using toothpaste. You don't get all that foam coming out of your mouth, but mostly the production of that foam when you use toothpaste is just an advertising ploy to make you think something spectacular is going on, something that can be done with a brush mint. So the third plastic thing I used was shaving gel, and mine was coming in a metal tin, that is true, but the lid, the plunger are all plastic and unrecyclable. I remembered back when I was a kid, my dad had like a bar of soap thing and a sort of big fluffy brush, and he kind of put the brush on some soap and rubbed it on his mush. All you're trying to do when you have a shave is put some kind of lubricating soap on your face to help the razor go through and cut the whiskers off. And I found if you buy an old-fashioned bar of soap, rub it round your mush with a bit of water till you've got enough lather on your face, works just as good. And if you bought your soap wrapped in paper and not plastic, you've eliminated the plastic of shaving. You can buy little bars of soap specifically for shaving if you want to, but I think really it's just a bar of soap. So the next bit of plastic I got rid of was the bottles of shower gel and shampoo. Again, what you're really trying to do in the shower is stick a bit of soap on your body or on your hair if you're shampooing your hair. You can get shampoo bars that are made specifically for shampooing your hair. I think mine is a sort of body and hair shampoo, so you can use it for showering as well as shampooing your hair. I will leave a list of links down in the description of this video, so anything I mention you can just go in the description on YouTube and you'll see a link to those products or websites where you can get some of these things. Just before we move on to the next item, if you could click that red subscribe button and click the bell icon, that'd really help me. Now back to the list. So the next thing I saw when I sort of audited my plastic use was honey. I have a bit of honey every day on my porridge, and I'd started buying it in a squeezy plastic bottle. There is absolutely no need to put honey in a squeezy plastic bottle, and so I switched back to buying my honey in glass jars. The next one is very similar, and that is sauce. We all like a bit of ketchup or brown sauce occasionally, but again they've all started switching to squeezy plastic bottles. But they still sell the glass bottles, which are easy to recycle. Glass is much more easy to recycle than plastic. The next product I changed was loo roll. I know loo roll is not made of plastic, but all the major brands and the supermarket brands come wrapped in plastic for absolutely no reason. But also the big commercial loo roll companies are being destructive to the environment. They grow a particular tree in places where it's not native, and they clear the land of all other vegetation, and it's really bad for the environment. And you don't need to be chopping trees down to make loo roll. Loo roll can be made from recycled paper, so we tried a company called Who Gives a Crap, and that is what they're called, and we tried their recycled paper. They also do loo roll made from bamboo, which is ultimately renewable source. So we've gone with the bamboo, and when I say we've gone with the bamboo, that is exactly what I mean. There are a few other companies, and again I'll put their links down in the description below. But I for one do not want oil drilled out the ground just to produce a plastic wrapper that I'm just going to tear off the loo roll and throw in the bin. And nor, may I add, do I want trees to be chopped down just to produce something that I'm just going to wipe my bum with. So it's the recycled paper or the bamboo, both reasonable options if you want to get rid of single-use plastic. Next one is kitchen roll. You can get it from the same companies. The problem's the same. You don't need paper kitchen roll wrapped in plastic. Why are we drilling oil out the ground just to put a wrapper on your kitchen roll? And why are we cutting down trees just for a bit of kitchen roll that you just whip off the roll and then you just kind of wipe your worktop, whatever you're doing with it, and then chuck it in the bin? We don't need to be growing trees for that, so that can easily be recycled paper. Another one that does my head in a bit is takeaway tea and coffee. People are putting the cardboard cup from the coffee shops into recycling bins. Unfortunately, 99% of them have got a plastic liner that's sort of welded onto the cardboard and can't be recycled, so we're just producing a load of garbage for no reason. So why not have a reusable cup? Well, you say, I might not have room in my handbag or my pocket to carry around a reusable cup every time I go for a takeaway coffee. Well, I bought this wonderful pop-up cup which easily fits in a pocket. Carry it with you when you're likely to go to a coffee shop, and you can just pop that up, stick the little holder on, and just ask the person in the coffee shop to do your coffee, whatever you're having, your latte or your Americano, whatever. Put it in that cup, thus eliminating a piece of plastic that we can't recycle, even though it looks like cardboard. I've used that method several times and I've never had a coffee shop refuse to use my pop-up cup. And last, but by no means least, is my number one pet hate: bottled water. What the heck are you doing buying water in a plastic bottle? We live in one of the top countries for clean water out of the tap. We are flushing the toilet, washing the dishes and watering the garden with pure drinking water, but it costs less than a penny to fill up a water bottle that's reusable. In some service stations on the motorway, I've just calculated the price that bottled water was going at, and it's actually going for more than the price of petrol. You are paying petrol prices for water that comes out of your tap at home for free. Bottled water is the biggest scam of my lifetime. I don't know why anybody would buy bottled water unless you were absolutely dying of thirst and can't find a tap. Bottled water companies do not produce water. They produce plastic. We are drilling holes in the ground and polluting the environment, getting oil out of the ground to produce a plastic bottle that you're going to drink the water out of, that's come out of a tap, and then you're going to throw away the plastic bottle. The water in the water bottles is not special. It's out of a tap. These companies don't have some magic leprechauns drilling magic water. Whatever the label says, they don't. They're just getting it out of a tap. Now, it is true that where I grew up in Manchester, the water is a lot softer. Where I live now in Suffolk, you get problems in kettles and washing machines and stuff with limescale, because that's in the water. And not everyone likes the taste. But you could buy a water filter at home, which will use, in the long run, will use far less plastic. You could add a bit of squash or something, which is what I do, just to flavour the water. But for the sake of God's green earth, do not buy tap water in plastic bottles. It's a scam. You are being ripped off, paying petrol prices for tap water. So maybe you're saying, yes, okay, let me do some of these things. So where can we buy these alternatives? So the stuff I've bought online is mostly from a company called Peace with the Wild. Probably not the cheapest, and there are other companies. Smyle's brush mints I also get online. But I've found more recently there's vans turning up on the market that sell plastic-free items or refills, so you don't need the plastic container. Now in our little market town of Stowmarket, we even have a shop in the high street that sells all these wonderful things. They also do refills on lots of products, but you can get things like shaving soap, hand soap that's not wrapped in plastic, all sorts of things to get rid of plastic use. The world is drowning in our plastic waste, my friend, and we have to take action. The big companies will not take action because they are making money from producing plastic. They are not going to change. But you and I can change, and when enough people change, then the big companies will change, because they will want to be selling what people are buying. And if we're not buying single-use plastic or stuff with plastic wrappers, then they'll change and they'll produce what it is that we are buying. And the more we do that, then the more the price will come down and be affordable to everyone. Hope you don't mind me coming on air for this little rant about plastic, but something I felt strongly about ever since I was a teenager, really. Why are we producing all this plastic just to throw it in the ground where it stays forever? Now, if you want to watch something that's a little less ranty than this, why not watch one of these videos?